Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough and review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 22. Now, if you remember from last episode, we found out Lisa makes a deal with both Cars and Wham, and she stays with them for insurance, while JoJo retrieves the Redstone of Asia. Now, while JoJo's looking for the Redstone of Asia through Lisa's personal effects, he finds a picture of his grandmother. Now, he also finds another picture with his grandmother, Strats, and Speedwagon. Now, apparently, when he actually confronts Lisa about this, she doesn't really give him any direct answers. In fact, all she says is we're linked together, our roots are connected. And as soon as she said that, it snapped in my head. She's got to be JoJo's mother. Now, I should also point out Strats is the one that raised Lisa, which I thought was very weird. And Strats also gave Lisa the Redstone of Asia. And I'm just weirded out by that in general. So I hope there's no bad blood between Lisa and JoJo. But it's even weirder if Lisa is JoJo's mother. I don't know really what to say. I mean, she's 50 years old. Wow. Just putting that out there. But moving on past that, after JoJo does bring the Redstone of Asia with him, the chariot battle begins. And again, that's where the episode ends. And I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with JoJo and Wham, and the chariot battle begins. And I can't wait to see this. However, the crowd that's in this arena is all vampires. So there's not a single person or vampire in the crowd that's rooting for JoJo. Not even Lisa, which is his mother technically, if you believe my theory, of course. And I was like, well, that's some fucking mother. She doesn't even support her own damn son. I mean, Lisa, come on. But moving on past that, we do find out JoJo tells the vampires to shut the hell up. And I thought it was kind of funny. He literally tells the crowd to quiet down. Yeah, like that's really going to do anything. But anyways, we are taken to a different scene. Now, it's being thrown at us, just a little brief information. Apparently, after each lap, there's going to be a weapon in the arena that's going to be lowered. And I thought that was kind of interesting. It's definitely a new type of twist, and I like it. However, the first weapon we get to see is a sledgehammer. It's only one weapon. Think about it. You got two people in the arena, and it's a chariot battle, and there's only one weapon. This just got interesting. And it's a sledgehammer. How often do you hear someone say, I'm going to use the sledgehammer to take someone out or something like that? It's a sledgehammer. Just putting that out there, but sorry, I digress. Moving on past that, we do find out JoJo, he's not really getting ready to start the chariot battle. He's cleaning off the ground that's in front of his chariot, just throwing the rocks here and there, and you're wondering, what the fuck? JoJo, you're not even taking this chariot battle seriously. You're cleaning up the ground where your chariot's at. Really? Really? Come on. When you're acting funny and stupid, you're usually up to something. But again, that's where we open up with. Moving on past that, we are taken to a different scene with JoJo. And the chariot battle actually has started. It's more or less a race than a real battle right now. But anyways, JoJo is in fact in the lead. And Wham can't move. And you're wondering, why can't Wham move? Well, think about it. JoJo was on the ground cleaning his chariot and tossing rocks. Well, guess what? Those rocks landed right in front of Wham's chariot. That's why he wasn't able to move, and that's why JoJo is in first place, and he's leading super fast, and I love it. I mean, technically there aren't any rules. I mean, cheating really isn't enforced, or, there's really no set rules here, so JoJo can cheat. Guess what? If he's, playing for his life, fuck, he's gonna cheat. I mean, hell, I'd do the same thing. But moving on past that, we do find out JoJo does retrieve the sledgehammer, so JoJo does get the weapon first, after Wham is like right behind him. It looks like Wham's actually catching up, and remember, they're using vampire horses, so they're pretty fast, but JoJo does get the sledgehammer. However, Wham, he never even wanted the sledgehammer. In fact, I believe Wham planned ahead that he wasn't even going to go for the weapon. He's just going to sit back and tail JoJo the whole time. And I definitely thought something was up. I mean, it was too easy for JoJo to pull that kind of shit off. However, we are taken to a different scene with JoJo, and as planned, he does put on the sledgehammer. He grabs the sledgehammer, he puts the oil on it, he uses his ripple energy. Come on, he planned this. He knew exactly what was going to happen. However, Lisa, she does notice something about Wham. I mean, it's a battle. How well does JoJo and Wham really handle their steeds? Are their weapons? If that makes any sense. I'll say it one more time if that really didn't make any sense. This is Lisa. She's in the crowd. She's noticing everything. And she's like, well, if this is a battle, it's all determines on how well JoJo and Wham can handle their steed, which are their horses, and their weapons. So if you can't handle your horse or your weapon, then you're pretty much fucked. That's what she was pretty much saying in her own words. and I thought that was kind of funny. However, we are taken to a different scene with Wham, and he takes the pillar. Remember, he didn't get the sledgehammer, and I thought, why is he taking this pillar? One of these pillars that actually is going to hold one of the weapons. He uses his arm, breaks the pillar, and I'm like, dude, I know you didn't get the sledgehammer, but do you really have to go that far? Well, I mean, he can cheat if he wants. There's no real set rules, but I thought it was kind of funny. He just breaks the pillar down, and now he can. I mean, he can do that. Like, yep, he did that. So moving on past that, we do find out he attacks JoJo. I'm like, fuck, man, this guy does not stop. He is relentless. I thought it was kind of funny. Now, while he's trying to attack JoJo, he kills a vampire that was on the pillar, and that kind of sucks. I mean, this was a support. This vampire was supporting Wham, and he dies in the process, and I definitely thought that was worth mentioning because I just thought it was worth mentioning. I mean, seriously. So we are taken to a different scene with JoJo, and he's no longer on his chariot. In fact, Wham was able to get a direct hit in and kind of knock JoJo off balance, kind of. And now JoJo is no longer on his chariot, which I thought was definitely funny. However, JoJo reaches for the hammer, the sledgehammer, and he attacks Wham head on instead of dodging. I know, I thought JoJo was going to dodge, he was going to have a different plan. He attacks Wham dead on with the sledgehammer. And I thought it was kind of hilarious because that's the last thing I would have expected him to do when he was crunched for time and he's about to be rammed by vampire horses that are connected to a chariot. I definitely thought that was worth mentioning. It was kind of funny. However, we are taking to a different scene with JoJo, and it's kind of like it's all over in general for Wham. He stops the hammer in time, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'll say this one more time. Hammer time. That's what JoJo basically says, and I thought it was kind of funny. What? It's before his time. How the hell does JoJo know what hammer time is? You know, like, stop. Hammer time. But I'm just putting that out there. But again, JoJo vaults over Wham, and he says, stop. It's hammer time. Now, moving on past that, we're taking to a different scene with Wham, and he is no longer in his chariot. I was like, what? Where did Wham freaking go? Apparently, Wham is in a vampire horse. I know. Okay, Wham disappeared, and I thought, he's dead, he's gone. Maybe he's flying. No, Wham, after we see JoJo vault over top of him, he disappears inside of his own horse. I'm like, I keep forgetting he can do that, and that was kind of a surprise. I didn't think he'd pull that out during this kind of like arena type battle going on. I mean, I thought he was going to keep all of his aces in his sleeves until the last possible moment, but no, he doesn't. Literally, Wham goes into his own horse, and he's hiding. Now, he reaches out and grabs JoJo by the boot. He was trying to grab him by his ankle or leg, and it's a no-go. In fact, JoJo's boot comes right off, and now JoJo is one boot less now, if that makes any sense. I thought it was kind of funny. Now we are taken to a different scene with Wham, and he leaps out of the horse. Yeah, this is Wham. He just jumps right out of the horse, this vampire horse, and I thought it was kind of funny. And it's kind of while JoJo was attacking, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't know, it's just kind of funny in my opinion. Now Wham is just very hands-on right now, kind of like the heat is on. And I thought it was kind of funny. He uses his holy sandstorm, and JoJo is hit, and I thought this was all over for JoJo in general. And Cars thinks it's over and offers Lisa poison, because Cars believes that JoJo has now been defeated. He's on the ground, and you know what? After JoJo's been defeated, Cars doesn't want to fight Lisa because he doesn't want to harm a woman or something like that. I don't really know what's up with that, but Cars does not want to really fight Lisa if JoJo has been defeated, so he's offering her poison. Okay, what a fucking douchebag. Fucking douchebag. That's all I gotta say about that. However, we're taken to a different scene with Wham, and his arms went to pieces. Okay, you had JoJo on the ground, and somehow your arms are going to pieces. I was like, what the hell? Apparently JoJo is alive. And the trick, he had a trick. Apparently when JoJo vaulted over top of Wham when he was in his chariot, he used the reins to strap around him, and he used his ripple energy. I'm like, so that's why he vaulted. He used his sledgehammer to vault over top of Wham. I'm like, JoJo, you just keep freaking amazing me, and I love it. However, we are taken to a different scene, and it's kind of a nice scene. We see JoJo. Apparently he was planning all of this ahead in anticipation of Wham using the holy sandstorm. I'm like, okay, he's already seen the Holy Sandstorm once, so I kind of knew JoJo had something up his sleeves, but I didn't think he was going to score a direct hit and literally rip off Wham's arms. I mean, they looked very distorted. I'm like, I thought Wham was done for, and he's always one step ahead of him. I thought it was kind of interesting. However, we are taken to a different scene, and now we're on to the second lap. Yeah, you know what that means? New weapons. I know I said that kind of funny. Well, you think about it, the first weapon we saw was a sledgehammer. So you're wondering, what's the second weapon? Okay, they're crossbows. Yeah, they're crossbows. And there's 2 of them this time. So each one of them gets their own weapon. And these crossbows fire iron bulls. Yeah, iron bullets. Now, technically in the subtitles, they call them balls, firing iron balls, but their bullets are also referred to as bullets. So the subtitles kind of fucked with me for a little bit there. So they do have 2 crossbows, and they do fire iron balls, but they're called bullets. Apparently one of the crossbows is larger than the other one, and together there's 200 bullets in general. Definitely thought that was worth mentioning. Now moving on past that, we're taking to a different scene with Cars, and he's acting very relaxed. Even though he sees JoJo and what he did to Wham, he's acting so comfortable, so relaxed. I'm like, okay, what the hell? Cars, why are you so relaxed? Apparently while Lisa is looking unnervous, you know, Lisa's like caught off guard. She's like, what's going on here? She's unnerving. And all of a sudden, Cars points out, Wham, yeah, he's a true warrior. What the fuck does that mean? Wham is a true warrior? I mean, he's 12,000 years old. This is Wham. And Cars is basically, I guess, telling Lisa, yeah, you know, Wham, he's a true warrior. What makes a true warrior? Seriously. I don't really know, but you know what? Come on, Cars, enlighten me. Apparently, we're thrown with a little information. Apparently, there is a psychological recovery technique known as switching win back. And I didn't know that type of psychological technique existed. Please share it with me. Apparently, it's so Wham can seal away his failure. What? So you've failed before? Because that's the only way you know this technique is if you failed before, Wham. So you're not the ultimate warrior. Is that right? Is that what Cars is telling us? I think so. I think so, buddy. So we're taking to a different scene with Wham, and I'm kind of astounded by what the fuck happened. Wham pokes his own goddamn eyes out. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even see this coming. In fact, I didn't even want to see this coming. Sadly, you know what, Wham? Now he can't see it coming, sadly. And apparently a horn appears, so now Wham is a unicorn. He's got a fucking horn that comes out of his head. So he pokes his eyes out and he gets a horn. Are we in the Twilight Zone here? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. It just gets weirder. And he leaps back. He literally, this is Wham, and he leaps back. And JoJo, he's not impressed at all. And he grabs the crossbow. Yeah, this is, well, JoJo, he just grabs the crossbow. He gets to the weapon first. And this is the stupidest thing I could have ever seen him do. He grabs the biggest crossbow. And yeah, he can't use it because he can't like cock the crossbow back because it's so fucking big. So we're taking to a different scene with Wham, and he actually receives the other crossbow, which is the smaller one, a better choice in my opinion, and he feels very confident. This is Wham after losing his arms, poking his eyes out. He feels very confident, and apparently he hits JoJo's horse. What are the odds? A blind man shooting a horse from so much of a distance with really shitty arms. I don't know what to say, Wham. You just astound me. So we're taking to a different scene with JoJo, and he believes the haze from the flames that are like in the middle of the arena will actually make it harder for Wham to kind of sense where he's at. And Wham actually aims for the wall. I know, it's like you see Wham, and it looks like, okay, Wham doesn't know where JoJo's at because he's hiding in the haze of the flames in the center of the arena while he's going around. So Wham basically goes like this. He points off his crossbow in a different direction at the wall, and he fires. I thought that was like kind of weird. Now apparently his bullet goes around the arena. It doesn't hit the wall, it goes around, like ricochets, kind of like pool, if that makes any sense. And Wham aims for the wall directly. I thought he was like aiming for the crowd maybe, but no, he aims for the wall. And again, the bullet does go around, and JoJo is actually giving his position away, if that makes any sense. So JoJo, while he's in this arena, the closer he gets to the haze, he's actually giving out his position. I don't know if he was self-aware of that or not, but I thought that was kind of funny. Definitely worth mentioning. However, Cars actually points out that it's like shooting pool, what's really happening. So Wham is like playing pool, technically. He's taking his aim, and he's hitting a ball that's going to ricochet. So I understand where he's coming from, but it's still kind of annoying how Cars described it. So we're moving on past that. Now JoJo is hit, and I'm like, what are the odds? And I was kind of like, what the fuck? And he is down, he is on the ground, and I thought, oh shit. And JoJo's crossbow, even though he hit the ground, it's now cocked back, so JoJo's crossbow is now ready to fire, but JoJo is on the ground, and he looks like he's about to be defeated, and I thought, oh shit, this is it. And he reaches for his crossbow, to be honest. I thought he was going to just screw something up. So we're taking to a different scene with JoJo, and his crossbow is ready to go and is gone. I was like, he's ready to go. So moving on past that, we find out Wham, he actually notices it must have been like someone else. Like something happened. I don't know how to explain it, but you see JoJo like on the ground, you see Wham, and out of nowhere something happens, and Wham notices. I don't know how to explain it because we really don't know who the fuck jumped in or did something, but if you were paying attention, something happened between JoJo and Wham, because we do find out the crossbow is gone, and I'm like, oh fuck, what the hell? I didn't see that, did I? I didn't. So we find out Cars might be the culprit because he's being very cocky right now, and JoJo basically is alright, but he's begging for his life, and he's throwing rocks. I was like, what? Okay, what's going on? JoJo used to have the high horse, you know, he was good to go. His crossbow's pretty much gone. He's throwing rocks, and he's on his knees technically, per se, and he's begging Wham to, you know, not go through with what he was going to do. I'm like, what? JoJo, you're a shitty actor. I can see right through this. So we're taking to a different scene with Wham, and he's actually hit by the bullet directly. And I was like, what? So technically, JoJo was able to fire off his crossbow before it was gone, and the bullet just ricocheted exactly like Wham's did, and I was like, wow, and it directly hits Wham, and JoJo's trick worked, really? So Wham is now dismounted, and he tries to kick, you know, he's been dismounted, and he tries to kick, but it really, you know, JoJo uses a rebuff overdrive, which I love seeing, by the way, definitely worth mentioning, and Wham is now defeated, and I'm like, what? JoJo defeats Wham? Okay, there were so many instances within this episode that I thought Wham was already defeated, and then, you know, JoJo was going to be defeated, and now we found out JoJo defeats Wham with this little cheap-ass trick. Apparently, he shoots his hands off. I was like, what? Let me see that one more time. Okay, he shoots his hands off. This is Wham. I don't know how to explain it. It's like his hands detach, and they're going right after JoJo, and the wind still carries Wham, if that makes any sense. So Wham was able to get one attack off just before he was defeated. So we're taking to a different scene with Wham, and he uses final mode Gathering Gale, and that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, well, first of all, Wham, what the fuck? How many second, third, fourth, fifth lives do you got here? You like a cat, you got 9 lives, and why the fuck did you take out your eyes? I know you're the true warrior, but what the fuck? That even made me sick to my stomach. Moving on past that, Cars. What's up your sleeve, and what are you going to do after this? And I should also point out, when JoJo technically fired his crossbow, you know, then, you know, it vanished per se. I believe that little cutscene that we didn't get to see what happened, that Wham noticed something. I think that was JoJo, maybe. I don't know if it was JoJo or Cars of what happened in the middle there, but you know what I'm talking about. It was like, I didn't understand what was really happening. But again, that ends it for my final thoughts. Nothing too special. As per my rating, 4.5 out of 5. I like this episode. Was there any emotion and drama? Yeah, I guess. When JoJo was on his knees, begging Wham to stop. That was great acting, but that wasn't, you know, that was drama kind of there. But it was acting, so I don't know really how to give points there. But moving on past that, was the fight scenes there? Was this battle chariot arena thing going on type of thing worth it? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Loved it. Loved every moment of it. So the fight scenes were definitely there. Was there any new information? No, not really. Lisa doesn't speak up at all. I guess we find out a little more about Wham, but he's been defeated, so who the fuck cares? But then again, he's not defeated. He's using his final mode, Gathering Gale. So can't wait to find out. But again, final rating 4.5 out of 5. And again, that ends it for my walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 22. But definitely comment down below. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode. And let me know what you think's going to happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And I got to hit the bricks. And I got to go. Before I go, I got to say it. And I always say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.